Hello. So in this video, we are going to be taking a look at if-then-else statements. And in the last video, we took a look at just plain if statements, and they allowed us to branch the code and only run the code if something was true. But often you'll find yourself in a situation of saying, well, if this is true, I want to do this. But if it's not true, I want to do something else and make it a true branch, so to speak. So in this, let's take a look at what we've got. This is the same beginning chunks of code that we had before, but look and see what happened now. So we still have our normal if statement, if followed by an open parenthesis, a Boolean expression, close parenthesis, and a colon. And this is what we did before, and we're going to print expensive if our price is larger than our target price. But if it's not larger than our target price, we want to do something else. And all we need to do to make that work is add the word else. So we've got an else followed by a colon, and now we can do something otherwise if it's not true. So in this case, we'll say not very expensive. Similarly, we can look down here and we've got an if statement, if name equals Alice. So if it is Alice, we're going to say hi to her, hi Alice. But if it's not, then we're going to ask who the person is. And as always, since we've got some branching, it's a good idea to have some kind of print at the end, just to make sure that we can see that we are completed. So let's let this run. So you can see, unlike before when all we saw in that first run was the done, in this case we're seeing right away these alternatives, not very expensive. Hi, who are you? And if we go in here and we change, let's say change the price here to $7, or $7.50, excuse me, then we rerun this, we're going to see this is now going to say that it is expensive. So we can see that we're branching, we're going down different paths depending on what it is that we want to do. And just like before, we can add in the extra lines in either case. So in this case, we're going to add some extra commentary, and as long as I stay with that indentation in there, everything's good. So let's let this run. I forgot to close double quote there. Happens all the time. No worries. We'll just fix it and move on. There we go. So we can see this says expensive. Are you sure you want this now? And if we switch this back to 550 and run it again, we'll see that both of the lines are processing. So these branches are very powerful, especially with if and else. And we're going to see there's two more ways that we can make this even more powerful by adding the ability to do nested statements, which will allow us to really get a big set of branches that can happen one after the other. And then we can also simplify those by using, instead of just a plain else, we'll see that you can use something called an else if. So that's the two things we'll look at next.